Are you looking for a way to get more pulls, more summons, etc, etc? Are you broke on mystics? Are you broke on Skystones? Well, today I'm going to be showing you what most people in EpicSeven do in order to get Skystones, mystics, and be able to pull all of these other characters. So first and foremost, we have Skystones, and the first thing that you can look at when it comes to Skystones is Arena. Now, as you can see here, so assuming that you can at least get Champion 5, you get 800 Skystones. Generally speaking, 800 Skystones is what everyone does for Champion 5. This is one of the main income sources for Skystones, especially if you are kind of semi-casual or just playing daily, weekly, etc, etc. Okay, so if you're just looking for Skystones, all you have to do for 30 free Skystones is just complete your dailies every day. You get 30 Skystones, and that might not seem like a lot, but every single day, or if you do it 7 days in a week, that's 210 Skystones, excluding any of the other methods that we talked about. And assuming that you do 1 week worth of daily reputation and you are at least Champion 5, that's a full 10 pull in a week, which is much more generous than most other games I can think of. A full pull, a full 10 pull in a week is unheard of value. Next thing that we have on the agenda is the weekly missions, and as you can see here, there are a few things that you have available. Sometimes you can get stuff like the Brave Crest or some conquest points, all these other things, but on occasion you do also get the opportunity to get Skystones here, so make sure to check this. And if you don't get it during that week, unfortunate. 10 Skystones might not seem like a lot, but again, if we're on the if we're tallying how many Skystones you're getting right now just for doing your dailies and the weeklies, so far you should be at around 1020 Skystones, I believe, which again, that's already more than a 10 pull, and you're starting to cascade. So like, I don't know, maybe in a month you get a bit less than half a pity. Now this other one you probably already know, and it's probably the thing that gives you the most dopamine when you log into EpicSeven, aside from the free pull, and for me that's the Heart of Orbis. Now if you see the Heart of Orbis, you can upgrade it and you can improve the building. Personally, this is what I put the most of my upgrades in, or this is what I prioritize the most. And for me, it's like, okay, well, I just click receive reward, and bada bing, bada boom, I got 21 Skystones for not even a fully maxed, but it takes about 12 hours, so about every 12 hours, what you get anywhere between 20 to 25 Skystones, I believe. Anyways, sounds pretty good. Moving along. Okay, now finally, the last thing that you can do for Skystones if you want to be more consistent or have more pulls is to just do hunts. Now, obviously, forcing yourself to do hunts over stuff like adventure and such like that is not worth it, especially if you need runes or you need ways to upgrade catalysts and stuff like that in order to upgrade your character. However, Skystone is a potential draw from hunts, so if you are done farming, adventure and such like that, you can also just farm hunt, and then on occasion you'll get enough Skystones that you can either use again for pulls and stuff like that, or you can go back and hunt more. Either way, win-win. Sounds good. Okay, so the last way that you can get Skystones, and this is probably the most important just because it gives so many other really good rewards as well, is Auto Tower. Auto Tower gives you a free piece of gear that's an accessory, and you can choose what the main stat is, and usually if it's speed, rage, etc, there's going to be value in it. And even if not, like if you're a beginner player and you're trying to make a Wyvern 13 team or something like that and need an effectiveness ring, this is where you get it, because that free 78 ring is kind of the only source of effectiveness that you're going to get without having to use a blue box, but then that's too complicated. So in that case, for this, not only do you get Skystones, you also get Mulgores, you get other stuff that helps you progress. Do Auto Tower, and that's the final way that you can actually get Skystones repeatedly, at least weekly or semi-frequently. Okay, disregard what I just said about that being the last way to get Skystones. I completely forgot about this because it's been so long since I've done one because I have brain damage. But if you do the Sidestory list once every 2 weeks that you have available to open, you can also get Skystones from this, which is a little less frequent than every single week, but every 2 weeks you do also have the opportunity to get stuff like this or to get Skystones from an event like this or from a piece of content like this. Okay, I briefly forgot to mention this as well, but there are NPC challenges that also give you Skystones that are different from just, ending in champion at the end of every single week. So if you haven't done this as well and you want to get to medium hard hell, this is, I think, on average about 21 Skystones every single day, depending on which ones you clear, because some actually refresh faster than others. So if you haven't been doing this already, make sure to do it as well. That's an additional source of Skystones. Before we get to the Mystic section, which is the obviously more tantalizing, sometimes more exciting part of EpicSeven, where you get the Moonlight 5 characters, we do have to talk about Skystones in general and how often you get them, because at first you will get a lot of Skystones from one-time clears, either through Adventurer's Path or from doing stuff like achievements, reputation, etc, etc. By the way, you should definitely upgrade your adventure reputation when you can. However, that being said, a lot of things like adventure first time rewards, abyss first time rewards, stuff like that is a bit too infrequent to include here, because after you do it for the first time, you kind of never go back and do it again. These are things that are very, very good or very, very helpful at first, but they're not reoccurring enough to consider them like true daily things you should do in EpicSeven, or so we didn't include this for this part. Now finally we have mystics, the thing that everyone is probably really wanting. And there's a couple ways that you can get mystics. The first way that most people are familiar with when it comes to mystics is getting mystics from Guild Wars. And obviously I haven't done my Guild Wars yet today. However, so long as you're in a 5 times reward or a guild that does Guild War frequently, you can get something called 5 times reward, which is increasing the reward frequent or like the reward quantity or quality, a win, a loss, etc, etc. So if you're in a 5 times guild, what you get is anywhere between 40 to 80 or 90 mystics, which is primarily where most people get their mystic medals from. And then that allows you to get Moonlight 5 characters, etc, etc. Or the next best way to get mystic medals in this game is, fortunately or unfortunately, with 200 of these armbands in the guild shop. This is pretty much the best value or the most frequent location that you can find mystic medals, aside from doing one other technique that we have later. This is very worthwhile. I always get it personally because I need it, and I think pretty much everyone in the game does it. That being said, if you are focusing on getting some of the other things like the artifacts or stuff like that, it's really important for your account. You kind of have to assess whether or not it's worth it for you. However, if you're in an active guild, you're actively playing, you're donating, you're requesting aid, etc, doing world boss, none of this should be too hard. So good luck. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm not going to click this because I haven't done any of it, but this is probably tied with the Guild Wars shop for the best mystic generation aside from doing Guild Wars, just because it gets updated so frequently, and the only thing that you're kind of waiting for is Smilegate to release new content. Now the stories are great, and like the graphics, the animations, and everything in between is great when it comes to the story side, but the reward side of Moonlight Theater is probably what draws most players to play it. And the reason why is because, as you can see here, you receive 50 mystic medals per time that you clear an act. And look, there's 6 acts. So just right now, I don't know if any of this is completely available. I'm behind, and you shouldn't be, but I am, and I'm gonna complete it after this video. You get 50 mystic medals per clear, and that's 300 mystic medals in total. That's half of a 10 pull for mystic medals. And if you're curious about a character like MLU Fiend or another character that's coming out soon, you should just do all this content as it comes out, or make sure that you're on top of this content. Get the free things. You don't even have to pay for like the free entries. Like if you see these cast reward things, you get a ticket to watch an act pretty much if you have these characters. So you get 1 free ticket per week, and you can use that for 50 free mystic medals. So it is kind of equivalent to buying out the guild shop. You can get a bunch of free mystics from this. This is one of the best ways to do it. Smilegate, release more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Side note, you can also buy them, but that's kind of expensive, and if you're not in a rush, you should probably not do that. And now finally we have probably, I would say, the slowest, but still a considerable, or is still something worth mentioning when it comes to mystic generation, which is that, again, kind of like with Skystones, and a bit of a spoiler if you saw it from my previous section, you can also get mystic medals from clearing hunts. I think on average I've gotten like maybe upwards of like 200 or 300 mystic medals during a really long hunt buff. That being said, that is the actual last way to get either mystic medals or Skystones. And that concludes the last section that has to do with mystic medals and Skystones. Something that I do want to make mention of is obviously you can get stuff from buying packs. That's not repeatable though. And the other thing is that if you're really desperate for something like mystic medals, you can also shop refresh here, which is, you know, you can click refresh and you can pray that either you get bookmarks or you get mystic medals. And this isn't really a daily repeatable thing as an achievement per se, but it is another way for you to get mystic medals, and you aren't time gated by it. You're kind of just RNG lucked or Skystone gated by it. Assuming you're playing every day, this is everything you need to do in order to get the most out of your pulls, or in order to pull more characters. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. As always, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. If you're doing it, if you aren't, I hope you are, because oh my god, MLU Fiend's coming, and so is Cade. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Make sure to check out all my socials, all my different platforms for infographics help, etc, etc. I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.